The ideas and opinions expressed in the Black Shirt Podcast are not necessarily the ideas and opinions of our sponsors.
But here we are.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Look at this. I'm wearing a black shirt today.
No, I am.
Black shirt.
Actually,
Blue shirt. We'll just switch it up. You know what it is.
laundry day counts. Laundry day, I wear a blue or a white shirt just because that's the law. I didn't make the rules. That's
Just the rules, you know?
I didn't make them. I just live by them. Got a big, cool show today. Lots of weird shit has happened. We took Christmas off. Took some time with our
family stuff.
and fucking
doing the thing.
Yeah, talk to our Euro girlfriends for hours at a time for no reason. Everybody does that. That's something you just do. Yeah, what'd you do for Crimbo?
Crimbo? Well, oh gosh, Crimbo. I went over.
I got you with Crimbo, didn't I?
Yeah, you messed me up. Crimbo. I went over, hung out with the folks, and my sis was there, and the dog, and ate turkey and ate pie and more pie.
Love
and
that.
Yeah, it was good times. Just hung out, watched Gunsmoke all day.
That's cool.
Yeah, like a bunch of Gunsmoke, and
Sweet.
then I secretly cracked the laptop and started watching Wonder Woman 1984.
I watched that too. I'm
yeah.
sure we have plenty to talk about
Yes.
on the topic of that, but that's not what's first on the list.
The first on the list. Let's get down.
We'll get down to the
to that.
cool.
Well, first on the list, guys.
Make sure you guys
We got to like, share, subscribe.
I just like morphed into the studio in the video. I just like when you click the follow us on.
Dude, smash the you like it, my YouTube
Smash my
YouTuber
motherfucking
talk?
like button.
Smash the notification
They do
button.
say it.
Yeah,
they say
smash
it. Like it's a thing. Like
that's
different.
One day they're like, I don't know what happened, but these guys just went pro all of a sudden.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, but also make sure you guys look at those new Instagram terms of service because I can't keep it on my phone after reading them. It's literally just fucking spyware. They can open your phone whenever they want. They can open the camera and look out of it whenever they want. They can go through your address book. They can go through your texts. They can go through your emails. They can look at your pictures. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And it's not even just when Instagram is open. It's just because. So you can have like a pared down like crap version of Instagram where it sends a prompt every time you try to like look at a picture.
So you could be pooping, and then like they're like.
I'm sure they've already got lots of footage of me pooping. Like I'm sure they've got some stuff. My political career is already ruined for whatever they've got. But the second they changed it on the 20th, I think, and I was like, I'm kind of like, okay,
got weirded out.
that's just the name of the game nowadays. Like that's what all these apps do. But when I looked at what they could do when the app wasn't open, I was like, oh, cool. Fuck that. And just deleted it. So no more live stream from me on my Instagram, but you can still check us out on the Black Shirt Podcast on
Yes,
Instagram.
we got Black Shirt
which
Podcast.
Fortunately we don't open enough for it to matter.
Yeah.
So I think it's also on like a dead phone.
It's on my phone, actually.
In the nether. Yeah, they're spying on you, bro. They're touching your penis in your sleep. Yeah, watch it. That's what they like.
At least somebody's.
That's what they like. That it's just too much, man. It's too much shit. Like normal shit where they're like, "Oh, Facebook can look at your grandma's ashes or whatever." It's like, okay, whatever. But Instagram was like, "We can use your phone camera whenever we want." And it's like, cool.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I use that for a lot of stuff that you guys don't need to see. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for following us and liking us on Instagram
and smashing that notification bell. So
smash it.
Do it.
And we're gonna get sued because there's gonna be like 15 people that just like bust their computer in half because they smashed the like button with a goddamn sledgehammer.
I thought you meant like somebody like Star Wars theories. Like I say
smash. Oh, it's
smash,
it's like trademarked.
Yeah,
fuck off. That's another. Yeah, what's a smash?
Yeah, Star Wars theory.
When did smash burgers become a thing? Have you heard that? That's different than a burger somehow.
I just saw a video. The guy's like, you make the
This
beef
is
like
you see,
like you put the Jello into prison.
Into prison.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was like the size of a cricket ball, and then you smash it like this, and I was like,
so you just make a fucking burger? Is that like that's the whole?
There was a place called Smash Burger.
I remember.
It was freaking good.
It was really good,
yeah.
But what differentiates it from just a burger?
What differentiates a Smash Burger is that on the edges, they smash it down in a way that the edges are thin, so it ends up making them burnt
like
and crispy like hash browns.
Okay.
Like when you're the guy that like wants to go to gyms and get extra crispy hash browns.
Damn sure.
Yeah, I'm actually. Let's just go.
Oh, it's out. We're out.
Yeah,
and
that's what it does to the Smash Burger.
I feel like that's not something that they haven't like clarified that.
They need to tell people.
Yeah, you need to tell people what does that say?
Pong, y'all are old. It's now spam. Spam the like.
Oh, spam the like button. You can only like something once. How does that even work?
I don't want to be confused as spam.
I love spam. I've never talked about.
I like eating spam.
Yeah,
but
it's my fave. Like it's my favorite breakfast meat. It's really good. I'm not joking.
Spam's good.
Fried spam kicks.
Dude, you're honorary Hawaiian.
Fried spam kicks a whole lot of ass.
Yeah, I feel like we're not gonna spam you with a bunch of bullshit videos like those other guys.
Right.
But if you smash that like button,
right, yeah,
and click the notification bell so you can know about future videos.
I guess maybe spamming is like sharing the videos over and over. Like that could be considered as spamming. I don't know. I'm for 32.
Yeah,
I'm 32.
I don't either.
I just got rid of Instagram. I don't fucking know.
I'm 32-year-old guy with a podcast.
Yeah, 32-year-old white dude with a podcast. It's like when you meet a white woman and they're like, "I love true crime," and they're like, "Of course you do. You're 32 and you're white and you a white woman, and of course you like true crime. What the fuck else is there for you?"
Yeah, I had a lady tell me that yesterday.
It's like if you grow up punk, there's two paths. You either go hipster or you go rock. Actually, no, I'm sorry. If you're a woman, there's two paths. You go roller derby or rockabilly, and those are the only two, the only two post-punk paths for a lady.
Rockabilly was also the skinhead retirement plan. Like
exactly, it's like now you like hot dice belt buckles and fucking roll your cigarettes up in your sleeve. Once you turn 29, that's just it's just the way it is. So
yeah.
Anyway, enough making fun of people for making. Actually, it's 2020. You can make as many white stereotypes as you want.
That's right.
That's not even against the rules.
Hit the hell out of it. Don't ask
push
me.
the key.
The kids say it.
All right. Well, all you young whippersnappers out there, make sure you word of your choosing on the like button. Choose whatever. Yeet that flex button.
Yeah.
Flex that yeet.
Cool. Moving forward. Yeah.
Now that
guys, we invest a lot of time in this.
Yeah, we put a lot of care into it.
Yeah, and we need followers.
I feel like we could also just do we should do one show one time where we just fucking don't write anything and just see what comes out.
Just a freestyle.
Just a freestyle. Just one time. Just like
those are fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like we've never done it where we just come in dry and fucking just improv the whole show. One show. We'll see what happens. Just throw the fucking get ready, get out of here. But not this show.
I gotta go back and get
we've
that.
already spent two. Oh yeah, you actually.
No,
we already spent 2 hours writing this one. So
that was the bottom sheet. I just did that as a prop.
That's a good bit. Yeah.
No. So, in special news, this isn't flash news. This is a news flash.
There's no more flash news,
guys. We got some big news.
Big news that I already forgot.
The console.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's already too much. Cool. Do we have a graphic? Or are we watching the vid? In the ultimate final plot twist of 2020, I keep saying that it's never true. KFC has released a gaming console. That's the last words I ever thought I would utter in the history of my life. I never thought I would say those words, and it's actually good. That's what's crazy is that I have the tech specs here, for all the nerds listening. This thing's got some crazy shit. It's got an Intel Core i9 processor for the CPU. It's got an Asus graphics card with a hot swappable GPU slot. It has VR capabilities, supports up to 240 frames per second, 240 hertz on 4K displays, and it also has a meat warming station that you can put your chicken in, and the heat from the game console will keep your food warm. And that just feels like we're one step away from the Ready Player One fuckable console. The Japanese also really love KFC. I don't know if you guys knew that. So this might actually blow the fuck up because every Christmas, Japanese people eat more KFC than anyone in the world.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's their Christmas meal. They eat KFC, and it's a thing. It's
weird.
It's like a tradition. So if they somehow the Japanese mix the fuck robots that they were already working on with the KFC console, we will have reached the event horizon where these fuck robots from the future are going to take over society.
It's like they're masters of innovation. You know what I mean?
I mean, they know what we want. That is the most American thing I've ever heard of is a video game console that heats up chicken pieces for you. And that people are going to buy. It's $2,000. It's basically like a super PC, but it's a console and it's called the KF console.
That's ridiculous.
Fucking insane. And
yeah, that's awesome.
This year has just been a series of things that sound made up that turned out to be completely and totally true.
Yeah, I want to sit around and play video games and eat fried chicken.
I mean, I already do that, but I want. What if my love for fried chicken and my love for video games could be combined, even more so than they already have, to the point where my console is actively making me fried chicken as I play, and my fried chicken is powering my video game console. It's like a nuclear reactor, but it's fucking chicken. I don't understand. I've been trying all week. I'm telling you, this is like something that like I watched like 18. I've done like 12 rabbit hole videos trying to figure out if this is just like the most elaborate hoax.
Dude, the Japanese ever make things that are practical?
Chopsticks.
What about?
Feel like they did that. That's pretty practical. 2 sticks, use them to pick up food. That's good. And then that was like the extent of their practicality.
Anything else made of wood?
Oh, yeah, they're working on these new satellites.
Boom!
Is that a picture of it?
That's a picture of one of them.
Oh, cool. So they've made wooden satellites.
At least that's what
mostly wood.
That's what popped up in like a 25-second search.
Great.
So maybe it was like a misplaced image, and that's not even actually what they look
Could
like.
be. I think my picture that I sent you was it just looked like supposedly they're space stations. That's probably just like a piece of what they're going to build it into. But the Japanese have created wooden. I was like chopsticks.
Dude, when you started talking about Japanese and KFC, I swore you were going for the segue.
I wish.
Yeah, I thought you were going
myself.
for it. I was really impressed. I was like, that's a really good segue.
Fucked it myself.
You're
no
like
big deal.
Master Jedi of segues.
I was so good that I didn't even realize it. Chopsticks. So yeah, they created a new type of well, I guess it isn't new. It's the oldest material that exists, and they're using it to create parts for space stations and satellites, so that when the space station or satellite has run its course, instead of like exploding into pieces and flying off into space forever, which who cares? Space is infinite, so it's not like we're gonna run out of space. That just like if space was an ocean, it would just drift to like infinity, right? So who cares about space trash? But apparently it's the Japanese, because these will burn on re-entry, and I'm sure they'll create some sort of fucking poisonous gas that will destroy the ozone. Yeah. So, but it is a cool concept. It's a cool idea that they have.
That's really cool.
I think it's super cool, and plus it's like, what's more Japanese than a wooden fucking satellite? Like that's like awesome. like a Shinto satellite is the most, like it has like the like the rice paper. Rice paper panels like on the fucking. This is getting racist real quick, but it has like kanji on it with like rice paper panels, like the doors that they use.
I was gonna look for. What do you mean they? Just kidding. No, I was gonna.
They, the Japanese to whom I refer.
I was actually gonna look for a graphic or a little video of the little paper bag with the thing.
Oh, the lanterns.
That they fly off. The lanterns that fly off.
Uh-huh.
And I was for the Japanese satellite. I thought it would be a funny bit to put that in there.
That's not far off. I mean, it is. I don't understand how, because if it burns up coming back in.
Yeah, why doesn't it burn?
Wouldn't it burn going out? I don't know science. I'm not a scientist, but I feel like atmospheric temperatures, are you burning because you're falling at an extreme rate, but aren't you going upwards at the same or more?
I don't know how that works.
Cool. They do, because that's what their job is. That's their fucking gig. Also, I would love to have been in the fucking pitch room for that one. I would have loved to hear the pitch meeting for, what if we made the satellites out of wood? And some guy's just like,
what?
Craig, run that one by me one more time. Did he say wooden satellites? Yeah, this guy's fucking fired. And then some other dude was like, wait. What if we used the chopstick wood? And they're like, oh, shit.
What if it's like recycled wood? We take furniture that is...
Right. We just take our houses and turn them into satellites.
Yeah. They have a trade-in program with IKEA. When you take your old...
Particle board.
Yeah, you take your old furniture in, they turn that into satellites, and then you get a discount on your new furniture.
I feel like that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's genius.
I think so, too.
How do we do that with garbage? Why can't we just make satellites out of trash and then like...
We could. Really?
Yeah, that's what the real move is. So anyway,
we could also burn our trash,
just like
Sweden or
just burn it all.
Norwegia or whatever country that is. Yeah,
Eastern. What is it? East Dakota.
What did you tell me about Scotty in the space station? You were
Yeah, I'm dropping all these balls here. So this is fucking bonkers. It's really cool. So
it's very cool.
12 years ago, one of the first private citizens to go to the International Space Center. I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was in like 2008. They let like 8 or 9 people go to the space station, and it was the first private manned flight out of our atmosphere. Well, one of those guys was friends with fucking James Doohan's son, Patrick Doohan. I'm gonna say it's Patrick. I'm not positive. Think it's Patrick. And apparently Scotty's dream was always the actor that played Scotty from Star Trek. His dream was always to actually get to go to space. And he obviously is Scotty from Star Trek. He pioneered. He literally boldly went where no man has gone before.
He pioneered can't doing it.
Pioneering.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain.
Can't do it, Jim.
I just can't do it. She ain't got the power.
Well, now you can, Scotty.
We use I have what's called the Scotty principle in my sales my sales technique, which is to tell your customer that whatever they're asking for is impossible and you can't do it, and then come back 20 minutes later and be like, I rerouted the power cells through the Kryton cannons and we're able to do it, Captain. And so it's like you set the expectation very low for the customer and then you blow them away with just being able to do anything.
I do that in relationships. If you just
it works great.
If you just come off like a scumbag at the very beginning,
and then you're the best.
Then you
turns out you're great.
Here, I got you Coke. Actually, it's a Dr. B. Here
I got you Dr. B. Babe, you know I love Dr. B. So Doohan's son fucking cahooted with one of the guys that was actually going to space, and had the way that they did this was serious. It was like some Prison Break shit where he had a framed photo of Scotty from Star Trek, and in the film of the framed photo,
really,
they had injected Scotty's ashes into the back line of the photo, and there were 3 photos with Scotty's ashes in them. One of them is hanging like in the space station, and one of them is like tucked away, hidden under like a floorboard, so that if they got rid of the original, that it would still be there.
And his ashes are still in space. That's super cool.
It's really cool. And so it's like it's like, I don't know, that's probably some sort of space crime. They waited 12 years to tell people. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on space crime, but that's space crime. But I don't think there's a court in the land that
who has jurisdiction over that?
The Space Force, obviously. They are the actual guardians of space.
All right.
That's their legitimate jurisdiction. Everybody forgot about Space Force.
That's super dope.
Turns out that it's real.
So did they say you violated Space Force rules?
No, nobody's
get these ashes out of space.
Nobody's gotten in trouble for it. I doubt that anybody will. Yeah, but they did change I don't know if you know, they've named the Space Force officially. Like, instead of being like an airman, like you would be an airman in the Air Force.
Your spaceman?
It's a guardian.
Oh, guardian? Really?
It's pretty good. I think it's
real
neat.
cool.
You're not a Marine.
You could be a guardian of the galaxy.
Right. You are a legitimate guardian of the galaxy.
That's
well,
dope.
you're a guardian of the solar system, but still
which is part of the galaxy.
Pretty sick. Yeah, I think that extends beyond your jurisdiction, but you're at least a guardian of the Milky Way, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that was a fun little anecdote. Scotty gets to live forever in space.
That's super dope. That's really cool.
It is, well, because people really do not give. Well, they do. I think some people don't realize the impact that Star Trek had on modern space travel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they genuinely turned science fiction into reality. Even the iPhone, this is your tricorder. This is.
Do you
God damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor.
You think Shatner's jealous?
He's not dead, so I feel like that's when he dies, somebody will do something like that. There is a statue of him. I don't know if you know that.
In space?
No, in Iowa. Where is Captain Kirk from? He is from fucking Deerfield, Iowa, or something like that. I can't think of the town.
They need to send that to the moon base that Tom DeLonge was talking about.
But in the town that Captain Kirk is from, there's a statue of Captain Kirk.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty sick. I think you ever see the movie Fanboys?
Yes, that movie was awesome.
Remember they run it over.
I don't remember.
Yeah. It's in Aurora, fucking Iowa or something like that. But yeah, we live in a weird time.
It is a weird time. In other news, Netflix executive producer Lynn
Lin Kui?
Kui is
Maybe
dead
Key.
at 39, younger than I am, after alleged poisoning by his rival.
So a Netflix executive was poisoned by another Netflix executive, setting the stage for a new Netflix special
in 2022.
about how the Netflix poisonings. That's pretty good. That's not terrible.
Yeah, that's
The
pretty-
Netflix poisonings. I feel like there's something else you could do, like producer poison, poison pill, poisonous mind, something. I don't know. They'll figure it out. They know what they're doing. This is just reeks. This is crazy though. Like to have.
It is weird.
Like what? Your show was doing better than mine? Was it
And-
the guy that wrote Daredevil that poisoned him? Because he's like, I wrote the best show ever, and they took it all. Yeah, so crazy.
It's weird.
Like, who poisons somebody anymore too?
Yeah,
like,
that's like some
I feel like poisoning.
medieval.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like when he
I
was
want
like,
Cersei to know it was me.
I'm gonna get medieval on your ass. Like he like.
I feel
he
like
did.
poisoning is reserved for when you think you're gonna get away with it. Like your wife poisons your oatmeal for 40 years, knowing that like eventually this motherfucker will die, and I'll get the life insurance policy. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
That's like the diamond dust. That's the best way to do it.
Diamond dust.
You know about that? So you really want to f somebody up? What they do is like, I've
I love
heard,
how you don't swear and I swear
yeah,
constantly.
like fucking blah blah blah.
I swear
Yeah.
constantly, and you're like careful about it.
If you really want to fuck someone up,
Fuck somebody out.
if you really want to fuck somebody up,
That's what my dad does. My dad will be like, I don't know about you, but I think that guy's fucking. You know, like, it's a language that only we speak.
so diamond dust is perfect, but
You just like put it in their food and it
you put it in their food,
rips their fucking
their inside
intestines.
slowly. Like if they do it in prison, I've heard allegedly. That like they grind up glass and they'll put glass in
in your food. Oh,
and then
yeah.
you don't know it. You're enjoying your food. You don't even notice it, but it slowly rips your intestines. It is very painful.
I can
and
pick a piece of lettuce out of like a whole fucking like gallon of pizza though. So like I
No, but this is like dust. They grind it down to dust, and it's like you wouldn't even notice it in your mouth.
wow.
Like,
Well, wouldn't it cut your fucking tongue up?
No, it's just super fine. But that super fine goes in and it gets you all in your guts. And this is not a quick thing. This is a
and
slow thing.
you're fucking
And,
over
yeah,
with.
diamond dust is even more so.
Yeah, and
so-
then like, but then it's like, which prisoner had diamonds? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
well, they
old
don't-
Diamond Tooth Tony over here. I wonder if it was him. You know, like
No, they gotta use they have to do
glass.
They gotta do glass
Yeah,
in the joint.
they're not supposed
in
to
the
get
joint,
glass either. But yeah, I've heard that. I've heard glass in your
yeah,
food.
glass. But yeah, if you're a jeweler, no.
It's like sugar in your tank, in your gas tank. Damn. Well,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So
So,
now
anybody-
you know how to do it.
hey,
So-
everybody, don't kill your husbands with fucking glass or poison. Just
if-
so you know.
and if you're a producer or filmmaker on Netflix,
Call me because I got some ideas.
I got some diamond dust.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're now a true crime murder podcast.
That's right.
On how to kill your husband.
If you're a 30-something female,
call
we're-
us.
It's
We got you. Wouldn't it be cool? I met some guys one time when I was on tour. I never told you this story. I was on tour and we had to like share a green room. You ever do have to do that?
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's like half and half.
Uh-huh.
And so it was a bi-level venue. So like downstairs they were doing like a live taping of a podcast, and upstairs we were playing a show, and they were staggered. And so I was like sharing a green room with these dudes, and like they had something that was on our rider in their green room, and so I had to like go in there and be like, "Yo, those are our figs" or whatever. And so, and I had to like I was trying really hard. I was like not being a dick, but then like they tried to like buck me on it, and I was like, "Did you have?"
We have figs on our rider.
No, that's what
why
I
it's
asked them. I
hilarious.
was like, "Did you have figs on your rider?" And they were like, "Well, no, but they were in here." And I was like, "Well, we have figs on our rider, so it wasn't figs. I don't know what it was. It was like a 9-volt battery or something. It was something stupid."
yeah.
And I was just like, "Okay, well, like, look, I have my rider right here because I'm the tour manager, so I actually have the rider that I sent the venue and the confirmation from the venue that says that they got it for us. So, if you." I was like, "Don't you guys do a true crime podcast? Isn't that kind of like, shouldn't you see that as corroborative evidence?" And so that went by fine. And like, I didn't say anything else to him for a little bit. But then like later I had a couple beers and I was like, "Hey guys, sorry about the 9-volt battery thing, you know, just big mix up." It's like, "So what do you guys do anyway?" And they're like, "Oh, we do a podcast." And I was like, "That's cool." I was like, "What's your podcast about?" And they were like, "True crime." And I was like, "Oh, neat. Another true crime podcast."
Are you serious?
Yes. And I was like, "Oh, neat. Another true crime podcast." And they're like, "Well, ours is good." And I was like, "I think everybody says that." And then he was like, "Well, we solved a murder." And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, how? And he was like, we found forensic evidence that they used to overturn a case and set a guy free that was arrested, wrongfully convicted, and then they caught the guy that really did it. And
Zodiac killer. Maybe you've heard of him.
it wasn't the Zodiac, but it was somebody pretty prolific. It was like the Skin Man of Minnesota or something. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, I had to shut up and just be like, damn, cool.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, way to go.
Cool. You guys couldn't figure out that wasn't your 9-volt battery, but you guys solved a full-blown fucking murder. Okay. And yeah, he was really smarmy about that. He was like, we solved a fucking murder. And then like they did like a Scooby-Doo pose, like where they all like leaned on each other's backs and then like a title card dropped over their heads. And so I never remember what their podcast was, and I pray that they hear this so I can fucking talk shit about them to their face. But it was really fucking weird when I was expecting them to be like, we found a guy who might know something about the Golden State Killer, and the dude just karate chopped me in the throat with, we fully overturned and fucking captured a murderer. And I was like, shit, okay, damn, I stand corrected. So anyway, what else we got?
Well, we got
fun anecdote.
Speaking of karate chops.
Oh,
we got Cobra Kai.
He did karate chop me.
That's right.
But this is even better. Good old fashioned American karate.
And Netflix.
And Netflix, real cool. We're segueing. We're not even pointing the segues out anymore. You have to pick those up on your own.
Yeah.
You know, the training wheels are off. This is episode 29,
right.
17. I don't know, something like that. Cobra Kai season 3 was moved. Another plot twist after taking so much away from us in the end of this year. We were gonna have to wait until January 8th for Cobra Kai. They've moved it back to January 1st, so it comes out this fucking Friday.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I'm so excited. I just binged it all with my lady.
It is a fun show.
It's a great ride. And it's good for people that if you liked The Karate Kid, if you didn't like it, it's good. If you never saw it, it's still good. It's just a good show.
It's got nuggets of 80s.
It's so
sprinkled
good.
all throughout.
Lots of little nuggets. And it's got the acting's good. All the guys they got, the fight scenes aren't bullshit. I've come out and said that this is better than the Karate Kid franchise.
Yeah.
I think it's better than all 3 movies and whatever the other properties that exist are. This is the real way.
I love the defeated when the first episode and
with Johnny where he's all fucked up
sitting there with a table full of beer cans and he's such
a piece of shit.
He's watching Iron Eagle and then all of a sudden there's a speech from Louis Gossett Jr. It's like, kid, if you're listening to this, I'm gone, but just know that you can do anything. You can, you blah, blah, blah. You're the best, blah, blah, blah. And he starts hearing the speech and he's starts looking around at himself in a total loser environment. And he's like, yeah, I am good enough.
Fucking cool.
And he's like, you know what? I don't need this fucking beer. He's like, and you can see the wheels turning as he's hearing this motivational speech. And then all of a sudden it's like, Danny Russo Motors. Well, come out and get a new car
Suck
today.
My dick.
Yeah,
Johnny from
just a
Cobra Kai fucking
face.
sucks.
Yeah.
And that's his
dude,
commercial. It's we kick the competition.
It was one of those things when I first saw Kenny Powers.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's all of a sudden I didn't know what I was watching.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, holy shit, this is my jam.
It was an illegal.
This is my fucking jam.
It was an illegal kick though. He makes a point. He makes that point in the show where he's like, it was an illegal kick, and it was, and so he should have been disqualified. There's a lot of it touches on a lot of the
How is that an illegal kick?
Because you can't kick in the face.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never even
contest.
thought that.
Yeah, and he says that he points that out in one of the episodes of the show where he was like, the rules clear, because he actually got a warning for kicking fucking
Danny Russo
in the face. And they're like, no kicking in the face. And then fucking last match, Danny Russo does the crane kick and kicks him right in the face, and then the crowd goes wild, and the judges just go, "Fuck it, it's totally fine."
Kicking in the face,
everybody, because it's not against the rules. This guy's obviously everybody's favorite, so who cares if he just full blown? We just fucking chastise the other dude for kicking him in the face.
But he can kick me. Dude, that show cracks me up because anytime he's driving around and it's like a slap in the face, he sees the billboard for Russo Motors. He's like, no, Daniel Russo.
Fucking, yeah. It's great though. What a show. The kids are all good. I thought it was going to be one of those wacky, we got to pass it on to the next generation. And it was just not, it's not schlocky at all. It's not campy. It's funny. It pokes fun at itself on purpose and does it in a good way, unlike something that we're going to talk about later in the show.
I love how he's like, how he's like, is that, are you listening to Rat?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
Hell yeah, Rat's
He's
kick
like,
ass.
Fuck yeah. He's just like, kick ass.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
There's a real cute scene where they sing REO Speedwagon together, and I loved that. Yeah, what else we got?
Well, let's get in some DC news.
Oh, cool.
News.
Flash. News flash.
Yeah.
DC News, we want...
Oh, first of all, before we get into the big thing, because the stuff everybody's talking about all week, holidays, all that, from last week, it's been the Star Wars news with the Mandalorian. This week, the big chatters for Wonder Woman 1984. So he and I are gonna go and just discuss all that stuff. But before we get into that, we're gonna talk about the new Superman and Lois that's gonna be coming on. There was
It's not cool. I don't know why I said that. It's
there's
really
a trailer released this week for Superman and Lois. It's in the Arrowverse. And did you even watch the trailer? Was not good.
I watched.
I'm not saying the trailer showed the show. It's like they didn't put much into the trailer. It's like they threw it together, kind of like that thing that the Rock threw together for
Black Adam.
Yeah, it was like, okay, you're just,
hey, we're doing a show.
Here's some cartoons we're gonna throw out real quick just to that's kind of what they did.
First of all, I fucking hate Superman. He's the worst. So I'm not like jumping for joy at the idea of another Superman show.
I like Superman.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
He's the one that everybody is supposed to like, and so I hate him. Like,
yeah,
just like
I get it.
Wolverine Cyclops syndrome, where like it's like I don't ever like
Cyclops just sucks.
I don't like the Red Ranger. You know what I mean? I never liked the one. I didn't like Leonardo. Like I'm just like. There's a reason they put other characters like in the show that are more like counterculture-y than the main.
I was like that I was always Han Solo, not Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So Superman, blah for me, don't care. But also like Superman in the Arrowverse, blah.
Yeah,
don't care. And then it's Superman and Lois. Like, I give a flying fuck about what's going on with Lois Lane.
Yeah, we're going to go more into the Superman thing in a minute because it's going to relate to the Wonder Woman conversation we're going to have. But I could tell you, I just read the premise of what's going on. And basically, after the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing with Arrow and all that, Lois and Supes have a kid. And all of a sudden, the timeline changed. Everything is different. I know Dig. He had a kid, and like it went from being a little boy to a girl, or the other way. I don't remember which.
So there's like a flashpoint.
Flashpoint thing where everything changes. This is what happens with them, and all of a sudden they have two teenage boys, and they're like, okay,
they had a baby.
They had a baby, but now their baby is two teenage boys. So
I bet they do the red and blue Superman thing. You remember in the 90s when Superman got split into two energy forces and there was Superman Red and Superman Blue?
No, I don't remember that.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're gonna do.
You think so?
Uh-huh.
And so then they end up,
or it's Superboy Prime, something like that. Yeah.
I wondered if they'd have like one powered and one non-powered. I'm like, that would
suck.
That would suck. Your brother's powered and you're not powered.
that would create a pretty good dynamic on the show where like your brother's a fucking lame-o, so
that might create a great supervillain.
It'd create Lex Luthor. That's all. That's exactly what it would make. It would just come full circle.
Well, basically they decide to move to Smallville and raise the family in Smallville, and it's the challenges of being a super dad and the world's greatest reporter and raising some kids in Smallville.
Dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck off. It sounds like. Show me that smile again.
Show me that smile.
But it's Superman. Don't waste another minute on your crying. He's like fucking laser beaming a guy in half. Like, that's so dumb. We're going to turn Superman into a sitcom. That's what it sounds like. It's like 2.5 Men, but with Superman.
We already had Lois and Clark.
Which was all right.
Which was actually good.
Yeah,
I was
not bad.
Say,
not the worst. I liked that it focused less. Superman wasn't the focus on that. It was just about what's it like being Lois and Clark when your boyfriend is Superman too, and he would always just be Superman for like 5 minutes in the show.
This is almost like Smallville, sequel.
Yeah.
You know,
Smallville supposedly is really good.
Smallville's actually good.
Yeah,
Like
and they were the pioneers. They were the first ones to like bring in any kind of extended universe shit. Like I remember it's like the Flash and Cyborg and
Mhm.
Aquaman. Aquaman was Hawk from Titans was Aquaman in Smallville.
Oh yeah.
And so there was tons of like parallel universes and crossovers and like the fucking Lex Luthor was that one guy. He got some real work out of that. That was he's like one of those teen actors, and he got to be Lex Luthor, and he was actually pretty good.
Pretty good at it.
Uh-huh.
There was multiple times where there was like people that came over to the house. Long story short, I'd have people over barbecuing and drinking beer and hanging out at the house and the backyard, and I'd end up inside by myself watching Smallville. I didn't even watch the show regularly, but I'd get sucked in.
No,
and
that's like
instead of
that's where
hanging out with my friends, I'm inside watching.
that's where it was
Smallville.
with me, where it was just enticing enough to make me want to watch it, but it was never enticing enough to hold my attention.
Yeah,
Like I couldn't sit down and watch all. It got 12 seasons,
I mean,
so
now
it's like a fuck ton.
that was a time too where we didn't have like bingey TV where you
No,
could,
it was
it
12
like
seasons of it coming out like once a week.
every week. So maybe I
Yeah.
could watch it now, but
Maybe if
But now a lot of those old shows are kind of like lame.
yeah, it's very like it's got all the problems of Arrow too, where it's like, oh, I don't know who I'm gonna make out with this Friday. And you're like, shut the fuck up. You're Superman. Go to another planet. Touch an alien titty. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, get out of here. Why do you care if the school bully talks to your girlfriend? You can just literally like fart in his general direction and he'll die. Like, there's no, I don't know. Anyway, that's why I hate Superman. He's just a juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Everything about him is antithetical to himself.
You have to have the right Superman, though. It's like this guy, he's like,
Not bad.
Adam that was in Superman Returns. He plays
yeah.
in the Arrowverse.
Yeah,
Him.
not so much.
I think his personality goes well as an impersonator of 80s Superman.
Uh-huh.
But and I think he's better than this guy. But not so much. But there's something about, and we'll just get into. Oh yeah, we'll get into him in a sec. There's something about Superman, like Wonder Woman is perfect for it, and it's like, and I even read somebody else uses this, so I'm not trying to jack their thing, but that when you get an actor who plays a character so well that you can't even imagine another person playing that person. That's why I said Hugh Jack. Like Hugh Jackman does that with Wolverine. He's so
Right.
good. It's kind of hard to find a replacement. Wonder Woman, like
Gal Gadot.
you're
Like
not
that's her.
I
Yeah.
can't think of another person who could do it better. But there's something about her,
Linda Carter is the only answer. Like,
Linda Carter. But now
not now.
but
when you saw her, you were like, that's
she's so
fucking Wonder Woman.
good. And there's something about her, that character, that she also has a twinkle in her eye. There's just something magical about her that's perfectly cast for that character.
Yeah.
And Christopher Reeves was that
He
for
is. He really
Superman.
is just-
and nobody and I like Henry Cavill,
I liked Cable too. I thought he was really good.
but he's a more
My
serious guy.
issue is that they've never gotten Superman buff enough. Like, Superman's buff, bro.
Cavill's pretty damn buff, dude.
He is, but he's not like big. He's trim. Like, he's in good shape. But you like, we're talking about the last son of Krypton here. He's got like a 19 pack. Like, he's supposed to be he's supposed to be big and intimidating. And like, it's supposed to me, it's like when you see him, he's not supposed to look like a normal person. Like, you're supposed to go, oh, something's off with that guy.
Right.
And then that's why he wears, like, his Clark costume is supposed to just barely work, where he's like 6'2" and he's like 310 pounds. And you're like, oh, that's a big, bad motherfucker right there. Like, and I feel like there is some level of intimidation that's supposed to be, like, natural intimidation that's supposed to be there with his gravitas, you
And
know, like
they kind of have that going with him, but they also
like
are-
the guy you just showed me is skinny. Like, he's a little man.
Yeah.
That's not Superman. Like, it's just not. Like, even if the head is right, I feel like that's what they do. They focus on the head.
right.
And they're like, if the head is right, we don't have to worry about the rest of it. And it's like, no, he needs to be broad shouldered and like big boy and like
Henry Cavill's
he's
pretty
from
jacked.
fucking Kansas. Like he's supposed to be like a goddamn linebacker. Like he's supposed to be a fucking cornhusker, you know? Like
Henry Cavill's like they've done a really good job with him, but there's something lacking with him also that I'll say, and I feel it's almost this is a weird comparison, but animated Anakin in Clone Wars.
mm,
As he's running around and stuff, you could see a little bit of the dark side in him
mhm.
before he even turns
Yeah.
to the dark side. That's what I feel like this Superman has.
Well, so it's
And
like
it's like a Superman who's got emotional scars,
right.
and Superman is supposed to look at people, and when he's done kicking acid on that, when he sees normal, decent people, good, like normal everyday people, there's a love that comes
Yeah.
out of his eyes. Like he loves the people.
Well, he wants to be one of them. He wants
Yeah,
to be part of it.
but
He
like,
knows that he's not.
But it's like Wonder Woman, same. She sees these weaker people and loves them and feels a responsibility, a duty to help them, but it's out of love, not out of responsibility.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like and Superman has that. Henry Cavill's Superman, they kind of try to do that, but it doesn't come
Yeah.
off like that. He's like conflicted all the time.
I feel like they should have done the opposite of what they did with Hugh Jackman because Hugh Jackman's 6'2" or some shit. He's like a big man.
yeah.
And they shot him in perspective, Tom Cruise style, to make him look small. And I feel like that's what they should do with Superman, where it's like just zoom in a little bit and make him look
huge, yeah.
fucking huge, because he's supposed to be like the most buff guy that ever was.
Like they did to Stallone in every movie. Like
exactly,
he's not that big of a
no,
guy.
you
but
go zoom in and he's pumped up.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's like Stallone. If they'd ever done the '90s mullet Superman, Stallone could have done it. He couldn't have acted it, but if they'd have dubbed over him with somebody else's voice, he could have done it because he
Yeah.
would have looked awesome. I don't know if you remember fucking Superman's his mom mullet that he had in the '90s, but if that's when they had done the Superman film, he could have totally fucking done it.
Yeah.
What else? We
Well,
going?
let's see,
Is it Wonder Woman? Or who were we talking about? Who's that guy you pulled up?
Oh yeah, Walter Hamada is
is the guy that's doing all the new
in charge
DC
of
stuff.
DC films. He's been in since 2018. He's got a whole bunch. But we're gonna condense this because what's our time looking like? We've been on 53 minutes. We
Yeah.
need to talk about Wonder Woman. In a nutshell, this dude said, "Okay, let's quit fucking around. We're gonna put out a whole bunch of DC
Yeah.
content. They're gonna put a bunch
Well,
of
they
movies."
finally stopped cherry picking. That's
Yes.
really what DC's problem has been, is
Yeah.
that they've been trying to cherry pick and just have like one big hit.
Yeah.
And Marvel has been shotgun tactics, just like, oh, you guys want a Shang-Chi show? Blam! Have one. You guys
Yeah.
want who else? Moon Knight? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Like,
Yeah. So
y'all want what if universe of stuff that doesn't even exist? You got it. So
and they've got their own DC Plus, which is called HBO Max. So they're gonna put all the A-list characters like Wonder Woman, Superman, Aquaman out in the movies. They're gonna put all the questionable people, Batgirl or Static Shock,
Woman.
people that are not the A-listers. They're gonna put them out on HBO Max.
as a big DC fan, bro, it's so disappointing to watch them fuck off all of the potential that they have.
Yeah, they really
'Cause
do.
Just Justice League Dark, just like fucking Professor Chimp and the Phantom Stranger and Constantine and Zatanna, like just in magic stuff. And I get it, like budget stuff. Really, DC's animated stuff is that's their best properties right now. Like
Yeah.
I watched Justice League Dark the other day, and I watched there's a new Batman too, Batman versus Robin or something like that. Like, it is just their Nick Cage's Superman for sure. He had more of a skullet than a mullet. You're looking at what we're talking about. Doom Patrol's cool.
I love Doom Patrol. I think it's great.
It is not accessible. It's not something that regular folk can just watch. But like, if you
No.
want to like it, it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for Alan Tudyk. Anything he does, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I also am a big sucker for Brendan Fraser. But yeah,
Brendan Fraser is awesome in that show.
I don't disagree that Nick Cage could have played Superman well, but he didn't look like Superman very much. There were some shots of him from that Kevin Smith thing where it looked okay, but he never looked good. Now, if you were talking about acting like a fucking alien person, I think Nick Cage has that in spades. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that if it was an animated role, he would have crushed it. but he just doesn't look the part. He has that he just looks like the guy from Con Air dressed as Superman. so it doesn't work. Maybe you just can't unsee Con Air. You know what I mean?
Well, let's move on. So yeah, a lot of DC stuff coming. Buckle up because it's gonna be.
They finally decided
it's gonna be coming out. Same thing that's
I
happening.
think it's once they figured out that Batman movie isn't happening until like the end of time.
Here's the other thing:
we got to shit out some other stuff, or we're gonna lose our momentum.
Yeah, they had great success with the
King of the Castle
with the Wonder Woman thing, and now we got the vaccines out, and they're starting to say, okay. Light at the end of the tunnel is happening. They had an okay run at the movies this weekend. With Wonder Woman.
With 84.
Yeah. So
yeah,
they exceeded their expectations.
More than 2 people showed up.
Yeah, exactly. I went and saw it in the theater, and there was 10 people. I was like, "Hey guys, I'm not the only guy here. Like, is there an opportunity for you to shut down early? Because I didn't see other cars.
Right,
I'll just go home if you could shut down early. I don't want to hold you here for 2 hours." And they're like, "No. There's 10 other people." And I go, "Oh,
cool.
So the place is packed.
It's popping.
There's more than 10 theaters in this place.
Everybody can have a private screening if they wanted to.
So long story short, yeah, we're going to get a bunch of DC content, so get ready. And then at the same time, we're going to have WandaVision. We're going to have
Shang-Chi's coming.
Shang-Chi. We're going to have all this.
Chiefs and Shanks.
So that's a possibility of every other month or every couple of weeks there's some new new
really,
comic book
that
movie
ought to
coming.
be DC's strategy is to just make something and then hold it back. Like, make a bunch of shit and then put it in the holster. And every time Marvel releases something, riposte. I put my movie out right after that. And it's like, oh, cool. You guys did WandaVision, and I put out my fucking Batman, my Commissioner Gordon short film. And
yeah,
totally,
dude.
I put out, you guys put out Shang-Chi. That's great. I rebooted Constantine again. It's just, that's what they should, when you're on your back foot against a bigger opponent, your best thing to do is wait for them to throw a punch and then try to capitalize on that.
Just copy them. That's what Walter Hamada's doing now. It's like DC has made
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro.
Yeah, well, DC's made $8 billion with this newer version of all this stuff, and Marvel has made like $20 billion.
Yeah.
So like, hey, they're doing it right. Just copy
do
them.
what they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, are you serious? They sell out to Disney, give all your properties away for free, and then roll in the money.
Yeah, like Den of Nerds and John Campia and Star Wars Theory. We're just gonna copy you guys.
Yeah.
We have like
you guys are copying us. We were here first. We came out in 2013, bitch.
That's right.
In your face.
Yeah.
We're gonna start some nerd beef. I don't care.
Yeah. Nerd.
Let's fight.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bring it.
Well, let's see here. So we got.
Now we're down to the meat. This is what we've really been waiting for. The meat and potatoes of the show.
This is the argument I've been having in my brain for 3 days. Wonder Woman 1984 blew up this weekend.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. Some people said that it was Wonder Woman that they ordered on Wish, and that's what they got. Some people wished it was different.
It was not good, in my opinion. But then again, like the bar wasn't very high for DC films in general.
The bar was high because it was Wonder Woman, and they made a fantastic. When I say she made, Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot.
Yeah, the first one was good.
They made a great film. The first one,
but this one, we talked about it extensively before the show, and I think that what they were trying to do was lost on the average man. Like, I watched first of all, I have very strong feelings about Maxwell Lord, and so I think that as he's the guy that killed Blue Beetle. And so he was like a big part in fucking Infinite Crisis. He shot Ted Kord in the face with a gun and ruined Booster Gold's life and a whole bunch of other stuff in comics. And he's always painted as this like cold, calculating, like he's very Lex Luthor-y. Like he's up there. Maxwell Lord is in the top 10 smartest people in the DC universe. He's one of the like big brains and one of those guys that like Batman never gives, like he always takes a second look at when Maxwell Lord is doing.
He's involved.
He's like that motherfucker's up to something because he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
And so it's like not a guy you would underestimate. And in this movie, they just make him like a bumbling loser, like he's like a piece of shit. And then he somehow becomes the Wishmaster halfway. Spoiler alert. Also, fucking sorry.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert.
Maxwell Lord is in fucking Wonder Woman, and they make him the Wishmaster. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
But Yeah, but it just didn't carry for me. And then like Cheetah was there, but like,
Yep.
and like I thought Kristen Wiig was hot as fuck.
She did a
Like,
great job too.
She got really hot. Also, like she was in
Yeah.
that. There was that one scene where she was wearing like 80s, like
The pink stuff.
pink
Yeah.
spandex, and you're like, oh damn, Kristen Wiig. Okay, I don't care about the tiny hands anymore. Like you've reached you have a new picture in my brain. But yeah, it just kind of felt underserved, where it was like they wanted it to be like an homage. I guess it felt like it was supposed to, but it didn't. I feel like with an homage, you have to like point more at the source material that you're talking about. You have to like kind of like give the nod, and I didn't feel like it ever gave the nod. Like it was like they masqueraded as an homage to the Christopher Reeve Supermans, or the like campy Wonder Woman TV show, or $6 Million Man, or like the Batman 60s TV show.
Dude, I can tell you what happened right now.
Go.
They saw Stranger Things and
thought that the nostalgia kick would just carry them all the way.
Yeah, New Coke. I remember New Coke. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so and they're like, let's
But
do
Stranger
this.
Things was on the nose with it. Like they were very like pointed.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
back with this movie, and then it didn't come out for almost a year.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So it's like maybe if it had hit when all of that was still like valid.
Yeah.
It's like when we do an episode and we haven't been on for like a week or two because of Christmas, and then we're talking about a bunch of shit that
They're like, dude, really?
from-
You're talking about Luke?
guys,
Luke?
KFC console, fucking get out of here.
Yeah, well, it was like that, and so I think that, and I want to say, it's what I was starting to say earlier. I think they made a great movie.
Yeah.
I think the acting was great.
Sure.
I think it was well shot. There was a couple of issues.
There was a fanny pack.
Yeah,
Big fan of that.
I think it looked good. It reminded me of the vibe of like the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. It was fun and campy, and like in a way that I don't feel like fit in with the previous movie, the previous Wonder Woman
and
at
it
all.
didn't fit with any of the rest of the DC properties, and which is fucked up.
Which is not a smart move. It's
And
not.
it doesn't make sense because Shazam was a campy, like classic, like family comedy.
Yeah.
Like it was very like on the nose and very like you know, like pointed and funny. And this somehow missed the mark.
But this is a person that's like, hey, man, I love Ghostbusters.
So it's like you've
and
got Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, right? And then you've got on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Shazam. Shazam is super silly. Batman's super serious. First Wonder Woman way over here on this end of the spectrum, closer to Batman. This one didn't go all the way to the other side of the spectrum and get really silly like fucking Shazam did.
And it's like they need a Kevin Feige guy that's like, hey guys, this needs continuity. This needs to fit together.
And you need
this,
to let
this,
everybody
this,
know
this.
that you're not being serious, like you're not trying to be serious,
Right.
Because when you make a silly movie and don't tell anybody that's supposed to be silly, then they're gonna think you did it wrong,
Right.
you know. And that's very much what I feel like happened here.
So I think, in regards to the entire universe, it was a fail. But if you just cut it out as one movie, I think it was fun. And I could tell you,
Like if it had been Jeff the movie and this is what I'd gotten, I'd have been like, damn, that was pretty good. But because it said Wonder Woman,
right,
it was like, eh.
And I feel like it was. It's a little campier than I like. First of all, if you tell me
I like a campy movie, this just wasn't. It didn't commit.
I enjoyed this in the way I enjoy old Indiana Jones movies, Ghostbusters, the old Supermans, all that. But like, if you told me, hey man, here's a new genie movie where you're gonna get a bunch of wishes and reality is gonna just all of a sudden change before your eyes, and I'm in the mood to watch a comic movie, that's not what I want to see.
It's exactly what happened to me.
Not what I want to see.
Also, not to be a fucking guy, but like, there's about 68 people in the DC universe that could have solved that fucking problem with the Wish Stone in like half a second. Like, John Constantine would have just literally been like, and I farted you into another dimension. And the movie's over. Good game, everybody. Like
it's kind of like Mxyzptlk. If you tell me that we're gonna put Mxyzptlk in a new Superman, I would be like, dude,
please don't
do that.
Please do not.
Let's just ignore that and let's.
Which Mxyzptlk's cool. Like I think that's a cool story, but it works in the books. It doesn't work in the movie.
When I was 6 and watching the cartoons, the Justice League in the morning, it was awesome. But if
I gotta trick him into saying his name backwards.
but like in the real world where we're taking these these drawings and
And
turning
trying
them
to
and
make
turning
them-
them into
yeah.
movies. That's part of the fun.
It was also very unrealistic to the point where it was like the rest of the DC properties try to hold some level of realism.
right.
This didn't try at all. Like they were just like, yeah, there's wishes. Wishes just work all the time.
It's
You can
like
just make wishes with the wish stone.
it's like Aladdin, or you know, or it reminds me of the campiness. And I'm gonna lose you on this one, of like the Mummy or something.
I love The
which
Mummy.
you love the Mummy, and I can even say that like Aquaman kind of scraped the edges of that. There
Totally.
was at one point where Aquaman, I think somebody got bonked in the head, and they did the old woo 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 woo, like, you know,
Oh,
where you
yeah.
see stars, and I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, guys,
Yeah, it's like,
that-
God, yeah.
that's you just lost me.
If this was the Aquaman cartoon, I would have said cool.
Right.
If this was Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon, I'd have been like, that's genius. But it's just like you masqueraded as a serious film, and then you made
right, and
camp, and it was just like it just didn't translate.
and that's not what people want to see when they want to see you want to see
Especially when it's your like fucking follow up. Like this is your like, all right, we're gonna do our big response to like all the biggest Marvel fucking cinemas of the goddamn century. Like all of Endgame fucking ended, and like Marvel dumped their slate out and told us all this cool shit that they're about to do,
Yeah.
and this is our rebuttal.
But on the other hand, it was really well made.
Yeah,
It was really
visually
well acted.
fine.
It took you on a
Cheetah kind of looked kind of bad.
Yeah, Cheetah did.
She didn't look great.
And
It's like they should have just did her. She looked like she was in Cats, like the new Cats, which is like that's one you can just do practical effects.
yeah,
Why didn't we do that? It should just give her some cheetah print, put a claw on her, give her a fucking tooth, and get her out there. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't get it.
there was something that it took me for an emotional ride for sure. You really felt for the characters. I felt sorry for Maxwell Lord. I felt
yeah.
sorry for him. I felt sorry for
That's just what he wants you to do.
that's, yeah. I felt sorry.
Never trust Maxwell Lord. That's the rules of DC Comics.
For Kristen Wiig. Like, I felt sorry
she
for her.
just
I
wants
felt
to be liked and like be popular and cool.
Gal
and-
Gadot, all of them. Chris Pine. Like
You really feel for
you
Chris
feel
Pine.
for all of the characters, and so that's good.
And you care about him. Like you want, you want
That's
him.
good storytelling.
Yeah.
So it's like when somebody's like, "It sucked," I'm like, "No, dude,
It didn't suck.
They made a great movie. They didn't make the right Wonder Woman movie. They made a Wonder Woman movie, but not what fits in with what they
The rest
should,
of- yeah.
what they should be trying to do. If they don't care, if they're like, we're not Marvel, we're DC.
Well,
so
and
we're
that's
gonna
the
do,
thing is
we're
that
gonna do-
Marvel's entire thing is cohesive.
yeah,
DC's is not.
we're gonna be chaotic. Just
DC
do ever
keeps
what we
making
want.
standalone movies that don't fit with each other.
Yeah,
And that's not working.
That's not
And so
good.
that's why they got fucking what's his name? The new guy for movies.
well, he's been around for a little bit.
Yeah,
so
but
he's
I think they've given him more control than
Yeah.
he had before. Where it's like,
I-
oh, hey, I'm gonna shit out some product. What do you guys think about
I know,
that?
like AT&T. I think it's AT&T owns
DC.
Warner Brothers or
Through-
DC
yeah.
or all that. There's a lot of corporate stuff going
Exactly.
on, and when AT&T,
Whereas Marvel has like synergized to the point where it's like their corporate overlords are themselves.
right,
Like, so it's like they answer to themselves, and the people that they have to like actually approve things with are other people who already have worked on comic book movies or properties.
Yep.
Where it's like this is just some dickhead in a suit that's like, I don't think the Chinese will like it, so no.
and even so, you got like even with Star Wars, you have like, hey, Kevin Feige, why don't you talk to Star Wars about how we set the future
Mhm.
Marvel movies up after the first couple, and so we can get and so they're able to get a battle plan.
Right.
And I guess that's what this guy's trying to do, is saying like, dude,
We need to rally and like kind of like unify the forces because we've just been shitting out just individual properties, which on their own aren't terrible, but
they're
we
random.
we
It's
act like we
random.
want it to be a cohesive universe, and it's just not. Like,
Yeah.
it just isn't. There's this Wonder Woman movie does not tie to anything else.
It's like a romantic comedy.
It is a romantic comedy, and it's like if you couldn't even put a cameo of Batman in it because he wouldn't
No.
fucking fit.
That's a really good point, and I never
Like
even
you couldn't put a
considered.
Superman cameo, you couldn't put any cameo in here
You-
other than like
You could have put a Christopher Reeves Superman cameo in this movie.
like a deep fake.
No, I mean, I mean like,
Oh yes,
if we
yeah.
had a time machine,
Sure.
and
yes, and
like,
it would have fit. He'd
that
been like,
Superman would have fit into
Totally.
this world, and so that tells me that maybe they're like, hey, we want to do a tipping of the hat to the old Superman 80s movies. We want to make this take place in the 80s.
Cool. Tell everybody
It'll be
that that's
fun.
what you're trying to do with it.
Captain Marvel did the 90s thing.
Right.
So we're going to do the 80s thing. We even put it in the title so people will understand why it's so so it's going to be so 80s. It's going to be in the title. Like, cool, we get it.
But it's like Flash couldn't have run in. He couldn't come in and be like, "Hey, Wonder Woman, I need your help." Like, it wouldn't have fit.
It would have been weird.
It would have been weird. And you would have been like, that seems shoehorned. So this film just feels like it's been shoehorned into the rest of the mythos. But the problem with that is that all of their movies feel like that. They all feel like they've been shoehorned into the rest of the series.
So they need,
and they're supposed to be one series.
They need a mastermind to oversee all this stuff.
Totally, and
like,
they don't have a Kevin Feige
or
a fucking Jon Favreau.
They need a Favreau.
They need a
That's
Favreau.
exactly what they
Yeah,
need.
totally.
And,
I
so,
agree.
But I'm gonna give props to Gal Gadot. Like,
she's great.
She's perfect.
It's gotta suck being her and knowing that you're the perfect Wonder Woman and your movie just sucked. Like, it's gotta like that. Like, oh, cool. They put the perfect character with the perfect cast in a movie that makes no sense.
But if you got somebody who isn't a comic fan that doesn't know all the canon,
they'll love it.
Doesn't know it,
They'll
like just an
fucking love it.
average person
Yeah.
is gonna love this movie because it's a fun, well-made movie. And
spoiler alert: if you're not Marvel, you don't get to do that. You have to make movies for people that DC. You're writing to your audience, man. You're not Marvel. You can't just shit out anything and everyone will go, yeah, it's Marvel. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
DC doesn't have that fucking buying power. So they need to focus more on the people who actually give a shit about their properties and make films and TV shows that reflect the values of those people. Until they get the support level up to the point where anyone will watch anything they put out. Could you imagine being a DC exec and being in a fucking like focus group and trying to pitch Doom Patrol?
Yeah.
To just random normal folk.
Well, it's almost like the Doom Patrol can do that because
Doom Patrol's on purpose, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
but yeah, like Wonder Woman is one of the is a what do you call it? A load bearing.
She is a load bearing superhero.
Load bearing.
She's a linchpin. Yeah, she's a legacy act.
So you should be using her to support everything else,
Exactly.
and instead of like making her be fringe and weird. No, you can't do that.
She's
she
like main pillar.
Yes,
and when you try to have a main pillar that doesn't interact with the other two main pillars of the fucking thing, it doesn't work. Yeah. So I'm glad we've solved all of DC's problems. If y'all just want to call us up. Let me make the Green Lantern TV show, and so you guys don't fuck it up for. You know how much shit I ate when that goddamn Green Lantern movie came out?
I bet it was a lot.
My first tattoo was Green Lantern. I was like, I'm a diehard Green Lantern fan for my whole life. Finally, they're like, we're making a movie, and I was like, fuck, okay, what do we got? And they were like, Ryan Reynolds, and I was like, okay, all right, that's not bad. And then I saw the piece of shit, and I was just like. And then for months, everyone was like, hey, did you see that Green Lantern movie, you fucking piece of shit? Sucked, you loser. What's it like having your favorite superhero be the worst movie ever made? For my whole, it's literally, and that's to this day. To this day, they're like, Green Lantern, huh? And I'm like, till I die. And they're like, yeah, you remember that movie from 2008? It sucked. And I'm just like, yeah, I know, thanks.
You gotta be like,
good to see ya.
Hey, check it out, Ryan. If you meet Ryan Reynolds, check it out.
Hey,
that's cool. Yeah, I got that before you made the movie.
Yeah, way before you made that movie. But at least he kind of made good on it in Deadpool 2, where he like goes back in time and like tells himself, shoots himself in the face before he takes that role. But yeah, like that's kind of how this felt. That was like Green Lantern. This felt like the Green Lantern movie, where it was like Green Lantern's so easy to tie to everything else.
Right.
It's a fucking no-brainer. He literally just is. He's in every story. He's always involved. Every Green Lantern, every story in DC, there's no story in DC that doesn't have some Green Lantern influence.
Right.
You know, like he's just an ever-present force because they're literally the guardians of the universe. That's their job. So unless you're doing a story that doesn't take place in this universe, and even if you are sometimes, Green Lantern is still fucking there. So it was just like, then they make a Green Lantern movie and it doesn't tie to anything. You could never have that Green Lantern shake hands with any of the Batmans that have been in films since.
Green Lantern is one of those things, much like this guy granting wishes and everything all of a sudden physically changes.
Master.
Yeah, around you. Like Green Lantern is almost that fantastic to me. Like, I think it's better animated, and and for me to like, I'm gonna think of this and create this reality.
Well, it just takes you have to like have like some serious commitment to like make that work, because you have to be able to say like, you have to be willing to not dumb it down. And that's like Green Lantern's big problem is it's like, oh, I'm the Green Lantern. I can make up anything I want. And I always do baseball glove, birdcage, and wrecking ball. And that's the only ones that I ever do. And you're like, wait, can't you just do anything that you think of? Because I would never leave my house. I could just literally make like carbon copy clones of any woman I could think of and be like the worst
rapscallion.
worst superhero ever because I made KFC
Yeah.
chicken, like it's just green, but it still tastes good. Like, like that, like you could do, and that's why when they introduced Kyle Rayner in the 90s, he was a comic book artist in the books. Like he drew stuff, like he was an artist. And so his imagination was really, really powerful. And so all his stuff he made was always like, oh, I made like a giant robot that like eats hot dogs for lunch, like something like that. Like it is always very specific stuff that he came up with. And it's like, oh, and its knees are rocket launchers and its teeth are lasers and it also has hair that's made out of fire. And so he was just like, he was imaginative. And then when you watch, like, if you watch like the old fucking Justice League of America show, Super Friends, it was always like, don't worry, Green Lantern can turn himself into a baseball glove and save you from that fall.
Yeah, totally.
And it's just always like, okay, cool. Do you got anything else in the repertoire besides birdcage, baseball bat, and giant hand? like, like that's all you've got. So,
That's
yeah,
funny.
but like, it just didn't fit. Batman couldn't show up in that Green Lantern movie either.
Yeah.
Superman couldn't show up. And that's the problem is that like Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman's interactions are so intertwined in the DC universe. They can't have standalone. Like Batman can, but even Batman, like, when you see the end of a Batman movie, you can go, ooh, I wonder if Superman's going to show up.
Yeah.
And then in this, you were just like, nope, no one's coming. Like, no one's coming. Nobody cares. This is over. So
it was good. There was some things too, like there was a couple of weird things, like again, spoiler guys.
Spoiler guys,
but
don't
yeah,
watch.
Hey, I'm gonna be extra generous. I'm feeling generous. I'm gonna give you another wish. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and,
Cool.
And so first she's like, okay, I'm basically Wonder Woman, and then all of a sudden, randomly, without renouncing her Wonder Woman wish, he just grants her another wish, and that's when she's like, I want to be an apex predator. I want to be a, like it. Then it's like that's when she morphs into
She really didn't look very good either. Like, I wanted her to look a lot better because it seemed so. It seemed like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Because it's like a cop-out. Like, of all the villains in the DC universe, Cheetah would definitely be the easiest one as far as costuming goes. Like, I've seen good cheetahs at Comic-Con. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen, like, decent...
Yeah.
It's like cat makeup, claws, loincloth. Bada bing.
It was a quick CG.
You know what it
in
felt?
and out,
Yeah,
but
you know what it felt like to me is in Dark Knight Returns when those fake Batmans go out with guns and I'm not wearing hockey pants.
Oh yeah,
those guys, like those fake Batmans. That's what she felt like. She felt like a knockoff Cheetah. Yeah. Sorry, Kristen. I loved you. You looked really good in the film.
she was
like,
awesome.
God,
man.
you were really good.
They all acted fantastic.
The acting was good. I can't deny it. And I even liked Maxwell Lord acting. Like,
yeah, he was great, and I felt sorry for him. And the other weird thing is there was no real villain in this.
Right.
Because they didn't ever point out.
And that's another problem is that Maxwell Lord is a clear and defined fucking villain.
He wasn't in this movie, and he was a victim almost, except he went looking for the thing.
Right.
But it's almost like he was a victim, and he at the end they didn't tie him up, string him up, and take him to jail. It's like he went and found his kid and disappeared into the woodwork. You know what I mean? That was kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's another thing is that he's not. In the comic books, he's a public figure. Like, he's a guy that, like, everybody knows. He's like a Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
So it's not like he could just fuck off and disappear and everybody would not care. They would be like, where's Maxwell Lord?
Yeah, like maybe he shows up in prison like later.
Right.
Maybe they get him later.
Maybe fucking Michael Keaton walks out. And,
but I was kind of wondering about
Michael
that.
Keaton? No, it's not Michael Keaton. It's who's the Vulture? Fucking
Michael Keaton.
Oh, it is Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Keaton walks up and says something about Sinister Six. I don't know.
But it was just weird to me that I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it just felt like it was for nothing. Like, that was the thing. It didn't open any new doors. It didn't close any old doors. It didn't answer any questions. It didn't propose any new ones. It just was like, here it is, and we're done. You know?
It's also kind of weird. I kept thinking.
Was there a post credits? Did you watch? Is there a post credits?
Yes, there was.
What was it? Spoil it.
It was
Spoiler alert.
Linda Carter walking. Well, it was what looks like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
A pillar falls down, or like a telephone pole or something. She catches it, saves a kid from.
And it's Linda Carter
and
instead.
then she turns around and it's Linda Carter. She's like, "I've been doing this a long time," and you're like, "Oh, cool." And also when
was she wearing the costume or was she?
No,
just
she was just dressed in normal
clothes?
clothes, but had some long black hair and stuff. And and Wonder Woman had said earlier, I found her armor, but I never found her. I don't know whatever happened to her. And so that lets you know that she's still kicking. And and also when they had the flashback that told the story of the armor and all that, that's her eyes in that. That was Linda Carter's eyes.
That's cool.
Which she looked way younger than she is
Yeah.
on that, but she looks great.
She always has looked good.
Yeah, she's
like
looks great.
it's your friend's hot mom. Like,
Yeah,
she's just got it. Like,
she does. I really enjoyed it. I was able to detach myself from the comic fandom.
That must be nice.
And like
I can't do
and
that.
look at it like I look
swore
at it.
I took an oath.
Did it make me feel something? Did they have a message? Is it a bullshit message?
Right.
Is it just like about humanity?
Right.
There was a lot of things, and like
Sure.
when you're feeling sorry for the heroes and wanting certain things for them, and this and that, and is well, I felt it was well written, and there were a few holes, but overall, I gave it a yay.
I gave it a resounding nay.
I gave it a yay, almost as an FU to all the nays who are being kind of dicks about it.
Like who?
But I mean, like,
I just genuinely didn't like it.
Just people on the internet tend to be.
And I gave it a fair
pricks.
shot too.
Yeah.
I did.
I saw it twice. I saw it once on my laptop, once in the theater because I wanted the big experience.
Sure.
And
Still
again,
I think DC's best movie they've done yet. It's Green Hornet.
Green
with
Hornet.
Seth Rogen. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, it's really
I've seen it.
really
Yeah, I've
great.
seen it.
It's actually awesome.
So,
You forget it's a DC property, but it is really good.
so if you're a DC fan, you're gonna have
Some
You're
issues.
gonna have some issues, but if you're just an
Just a
everyday
fan
Joe,
of movies,
yeah, you'll like
Yeah,
it. It's
totally.
a good fun movie. So
and that's a bar.
yeah. So why don't you tell us in the comments down below if you're
thought
a
of it.
yay or a nay, and
I was-
respond. And I'm gonna check that out and see if we get.
Shout out to
if
all
we
my
get-
motherfucking nays
Yeah.
out there.
I had some things before we hang it up.
Hang that motherfucker up.
Ooh. We got any Marvel news? There's look at that beautiful
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
She is great.
Again, she's perfect. Because
She just doesn't look mean enough. I've always
she's
thought
not-
that
that's-
Wonder Woman looks like she'd beat you up.
Wonder Woman and Superman are not mean. That's the deal. Batman is mean.
Yeah.
And
But they're stern. I think that's the word I'm looking.
They're stern.
She
but
doesn't look like she could sternly look
Well,
at me and like make me.
She does when she turns her eyebrows for a second and has to kick some ass for a second. But then when she turns around and looks at the 5-year-old
Yeah.
who's sitting there, then all of a sudden you can
Sweet
see
face,
the
yeah.
love in her eyes.
Yeah.
And Christopher Reeves had that too. And she's got it. And yeah. So Marvel news, we got WandaVision coming
Someday.
I believe it's the 15th. The 15th of January. So that's 2 weeks away. So we got 2 weeks.
Might as well be 1,000 years.
I know it's like it's been so long.
I know, but it's gonna be good. There's lots of this is what I'm talking about. This is gonna open a lot of doors. It's gonna ask a lot of questions. It's gonna answer a lot of questions. It's gonna close a lot of doors. It's gonna provide some sort of. It's a vehicle for the franchise. It gives closure, and it also opens new questions. Wonder Woman did not do that in any way.
Do you think this is how they're gonna introduce mutants?
They have to fucking eventually, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think so because like the thing is now we know Fantastic Four is like happening.
It's greenlit.
It's greenlit, and so there's no way that they're going to do Fantastic Four as a standalone, non-franchise involved film because they've already done that twice and fucked it both times.
Right.
So they have to get the Fantastic Four in, and so yeah, I think that what's going to happen is, if you want my like real deal theory,
Yeah. That's what I'm going for.
I think Wanda is going to just undo reality to the point where people don't realize that it happened, and everything is the same, other than that there are new characters in the world.
And she's probably and brings back
and brings Vision back,
Yeah.
right? But that's the thing is when she brings Vision back, it's going to bring like a whole bunch of other like what what if characters.
It's pretty much going to bring back Superman's 2 teenage boys.
Yeah.
in
It's gonna get,
Smallville.
and Richard Pryor's gonna break into a weather station or something. I don't know, but that's like, I think she's going to like House of M instead. It's like in reverse, because in House of
Right.
M she
Gets-
took away everyone's powers, and I think in this she's going to like, I'm trying to figure out the way to say it. She's going to like undo the fact, or she's going to undo the fact that the X-Men never were. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That like to her, because of the way she sees everything in her cosmic view, they exist, they're just unacknowledged.
Right.
And they don't exist to anybody but her.
It's also weird because her dad is Magneto,
Exactly. And the ex,
but he's not Magneto yet. And then like
right.
she doesn't have a dad yet. And then
Right.
and then when
So-
she all of a sudden she just creates her dad.
Right. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but that seems like that's the only thing that really fits, is that she's gonna they're like gonna ask her some questions about her family, and she's gonna like invent a story about her dad, and then that's gonna become reality. And then by that happening, that's going to create a domino effect of, well, if Magneto exists, then all of the things that Magneto ever interacted with exist. And if all the things that Magneto ever interacted with exist, then then Charles Xavier has to exist.
Yeah.
Because without Magneto, without Charles Xavier, there's no Magneto, and without vice versa. So without
Or is the Spider-Verse going to bring in the
the X-Men, that would just be fucking blow my mind. But they can't. It's still Sony, right?
No, but it's like
It's
a
like a-
joint. It's like a joint venture.
Then maybe, because
'Cause
that's
that's
I think
another-
Sony owned the X-Men too, or was that
No, that was Fox.
Fox?
That
Yeah.
was Fox. But Marvel is involved, and
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see. I would be surprised if there's not a couple of like, at least if they don't just fucking come out and do it, then there'll be some like little tidbits of like,
both. On
wait
both.
a second, was that guy's name Scott Summers? Like, like,
yeah.
and so it's like, the thing is also is that those people might exist in the Marvel universe. They just might not be mutants.
Oh yeah.
Scott Summers might be a guy in the Marvel universe who's
Right,
just
right.
living his normal, regular Joe life because he never became a mutant.
because he sucks.
Exactly. He does suck. And so Wanda fucks up reality somehow, and all of those people who were to be X-Men but have carried on not being them because they don't
Right.
exist, now have been retconned to that they are. Does that make sense? I'm
Yeah,
just saying
yeah,
I'm
totally.
just putting a lot of words in
Yeah,
there.
like
but-
she's not birthing.
right, they're not
people.
coming out.
They're people. They're just not
It's just
powered. Yeah.
retconning their
yeah.
history, and they already existed. Like Logan is out there somewhere. He's out there just living his normal life.
a long time ago because he wouldn't have lived this long without powers. But yes.
Well, because his healing factor is natural.
No, I'm saying before like. Yeah, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
but I
just saying
guess-
he would have died in like the 1800s
Right.
or something because
Sure, but maybe not.
as a normal man.
Who knows? He might be the Highlander. Anyway, that's the show, folks.
Yeah, woo, there can be only one.
I distinctly remember cliffs.
Yeah, and what else?
think that was about it.
Yep,
Little
Star Wars
Star Wars.
news. Okay, hey, anybody didn't know Luke Skywalker's at the end of the Mandalorian? Spoiler alert.
And it's not great. It is good.
No, it's good.
It's good, but the deep fake is not that great.
Yeah. Apparently
They should have just got fucking.
I thought they did great. TV budget. I'm always the good guy. I'm always
You
like,
are.
oh,
I know.
man,
I'm such
we're
a.
doing
I'm such
fucking
a. I'm such a
bullshit.
heel. It wasn't. It was just
It was
up until he-
badass.
up until he took the hood off. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then when he took the hood off, I was like, oh man, they didn't get fucking so and so. What's his name?
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian
Yeah,
Stan.
I was expecting it to be him also, but you know what? And like I said, I did a standalone video. The continuity doesn't match our
Did you see that we're
podcast. Just
our
kidding.
names are switched.
Oh, that's fun.
Nobody cares.
We're switched.
Oh, we.
Yeah,
I don't
look-
know. Yeah, I wonder why that happened.
That's super weird.
Whatever. A lot of technical difficulties on this show. Now
Ooh,
it's
look
just-
at me, now I'm
it's
up
just me,
here.
and I'm over here. Anyway, I liked it. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought
Boom.
it was very sick, and it was like exactly what the show needed.
It was
because
su-
it like now it's definitively in the canon.
definitively in the can.
Yeah. Well, in the canon, it's like you've got Boba Fett and fucking post Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker in the show.
Super dope.
So cool. It's just Star Wars: The Next Adventure.
And to me, Mark Hamill got he got slighted, I think, on the on
Totally.
the sequel trilogy.
I still thought he got a good ending. Like I really did like think that they gave him the exact ending that he was looking for, his character, which was peace. I didn't become my father.
Yeah.
I never actually fucking fucked off and went to the dark side.
But I really like that they probably are going to say, hey, what would affect this guy so much that he would just
Wither and die.
Wither and go hide and hide and just turn his back on the Force and everything else. Something really traumatic must have happened. So that means we're going to see that. I'm thinking, because they brought him back, we're going to see him go do all this Jedi Academy.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, hey, bring in Mara Jade.
And
bring in Mara
that's
Jade.
what supposedly is the catalyst of all of that eventually, is that he does see himself as susceptible to the dark side, because after this, or in this time frame, is when he kind of almost goes to the dark side.
And after they kill your family and all your students, it's time to just go get drunk and
drink some green milk
and just get away. You know, like,
see you later.
So go hide. And so I hope that they build a story that should, bring in Sebastian Stan, bring in somebody else, but like,
or get that deepfake guy fired, because it just should have been better. That's my only. It wasn't that it was bad that it was a deepfake. It was just that it was a bad deepfake.
We have some new questionable techniques on how to do stuff like that, and I think they picked the wrong technique.
Same.
They went with the Benjamin Button, and they should have gone with the deepfake. Is what they
totally.
I think, but anywho, I'm excited. I'm excited about what Favreau's got coming down the pike. I'm excited about all that stuff. I'm excited about DC stuff. I'm excited about Star Wars stuff, Marvel stuff. All this crap is coming our way. It's going to be fantastic. So
great.
Yeah. So we've had,
and I'll be here to bitch about it.
We've had a dry year, but
yeah.
But 21 and 22 are going to be fantastic with the content.
21's going to be a good one too, just because we're getting a lot of stuff that's going to tide us over to the real shit.
We're going to get mountains of stuff. So now we can quit bullshitting and bring you some real content.
Right.
So,
we don't have to keep showing you some dumb thing about how like a guy walked his dog in Africa or whatever. Anyway, thanks for coming, guys. Don't forget to like, share, Sunny.
Rangers of the New Republic should be Bill Burr with all those chicks that are badass.
That is good.
That was quick.
We ran a little long this time.
Yeah, we ran along. That will be badass.
Yeah, I don't know that is going to be what it is, but it could be.
I want it to be that.
She is deputized, and that means she can deputize other people, and she could get Bill Burr a pardon.
And 4 badass women picking
on Bill Burr.
It's the best.
It'd be a good show.
Then he's like, "Hey, I thought
I'm fucking working on it."
Or I figured because you're a girl, you couldn't handle it, and then he gets like stiff armed or something.
Right.
It would be really fun. So okay, cool. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash that like button.
Smash.
Did we get
I don't know. Smash that MF like button.
Yeah.
Spam whatever that you spam. And also subscribe. I don't know.
Subscribe.
Sprinkle.
Do all those things.
Push the key.
Yep.
Shout out to Keeps. All right.
Subscribe.
Oh, subscribe.
That wasn't bad. No, it was fun.